season's finished. Transfer special time and season review. I know I said this last year, but let's go and do something that gets us in that top 6, and let's see if we can start winning these championships. Hello guys, David here, and welcome back to another episode of Going Intercontinental here with Newell's Old Boys. In this episode we will be doing the season review, but before we get too into that, just to give you an idea as to what happened in the last game of the season. Obviously in the last episode we did the games against Internacional, Rosario Central and then Internacional again, which, great news, we're into the third round of the Copa Sudamerica, and you do know that we are playing, can't remember, Lanús. So plenty of games against them in the coming weeks and months, which will be great fun. So we get to see the square pitch at least once, which I'm sure you'll all want to do. In the last game, which I've literally just come off the back of playing, we beat Godoy Cruz 3-1 and as such condemned them to relegation. It was a very much changed side, apart from the back four. So you can see Belotti got a game, Nora, Batitsuta and Varela all getting into the game, and the latter two both getting on the score sheet, which I'm very pleased with. And both of them had good ratings in the game as well, which was always nice to see. So yeah, lovely little win there, and as I mentioned there, yeah, we did condemn them to relegation. I don't know if we did, to be honest, I don't even know if we actually did, but it's the whole average point system, as you can see. So weirdly, some strange teams did get relegated, and other ones didn't, but that's fine. Can I show you the average points? I can. Yeah, I assume it's because of what's happened in the last couple of seasons more so than anything else. In fact, actually, it's going to be last season and this season that's caused it. And there you go. They are the ones who are being relegated this season. Also, worth noting, before I go into this sort of stuff and we start doing a little bit of the other stuff, I had realised, and I didn't know this before, this is complete news to me, you can thank FM for this, because he's done a very, very good lowdown of the Argentinian leagues. I'll leave a card for that in the corner right now, so that you can have a look at that video, because if you are interested in doing this sort of save and you don't want to just kind of figure it out as you go like I've done, then definitely check out his video. It's very, very good. I didn't realise that Newell's have never actually won the Copa Libertadores, so I'm not only doing something that I've never done, I'm doing something the team has never done as well, on a very small budget as well, because we're not really spending a lot of money. But yeah, so that's subconsciously added another level of challenge to the challenge, as it were. But anyway, we do have obviously the challenge of getting into the Copa Libertadores from the league next season, assuming we don't win the Copa Sudamericana. It's actually called, not the Copa Sudamerica, which is what I've called it in every episode it's been talked about up until now. Again, thanks to Lama for pointing that one out. I didn't realise I'd missed a couple of letters, which completely changes the way it's spelled, the way it's pronounced, sorry. But anyway, without any further ado, let's get into the season review. River won the league. In fact, before we go into it too much detail, let's go and have a look at the league table. Can I not get into that here? Here we go. So River were champions. Vélez had finished. Vélez, Boca and Racing Club all got upwards of 90 points, which for a 42-game season with 22 teams, I think is pretty impressive. Even the top 8 got a top of 70 points. We finished 9th on 66, but with a very, very good goal difference, which I'm very pleased with. 9 points in the end, clear of Toleros, who must have presumably just capitulated. In fact, they lost to Independiente on the last day, so yeah, obviously didn't play very well. But yeah, and you can see Banfield, Colón and Godoy Cruz relegated. I don't know what's going to happen next season, because I do know that from the 2022-23 season, which is next season, I do have the understanding there's only going to be 20 teams. So I'm assuming those 3 are relegated and then only one comes up, I guess. I think. Is that right? I'm very good at maths. I'm assuming it's one comes up, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I believe there's only going to be one team going up, which means they're going to go down to 20 teams next season. But season review then, let's go into this. Let's start off with the overall best 11. So we've got Limusan in goal, Bartolo, Lema, Fernandez, and Nadlan Fernandez obviously coming in his first full season with the squad, and I'm very, very pleased we've got him coming in on a permanent deal at the end of the year. Rivera and Moreno, in fact, should we have a look and see where these guys are? Well, we know where all of these are. Lema, I believe, is with Independiente. He is indeed. So he signed for them on a permanent deal at the end of last season. Hasn't had as good a season as he did with us. Sucks to be them. Rivero, he's probably still in China. He's still with Reina, still having very, very good seasons. Fair play to the guy. Moreno, where did he go? Did he go to China as well? Oh no, he went to Atlanta United. Again, playing very well in the MLS for them. We then have Aguirre, who's with the club. Dennis Rodriguez, who's with the club. Palacios, who is not. He is with Independiente still. He didn't have the best of seasons in his second season back with them, but again, didn't play too badly. And then we have Roman Bravo, of course, up top, who is currently in China as well. And not scoring as many goals as he did in the first few games anyway, so he's lost that goal scoring touch, but still playing well from what it looks like. Substitutes Alan Aguirre, obviously we lost him early doors. Goalkeeper Caligari, Ferroni, Torres, Sforza, Julian Fernandez and Ceballos, all still with the club. End of season awards. Player of the season, interestingly, Sebastian Sforza. I wouldn't have expected that. I would have probably given it to someone like Torres, even though he has had some dodgy moments at times. I would have probably given it to him. Fernandez and Torres, their third. Come back to the goal of the season in a minute, which is Benitez against Sport Boys, which you won't have seen, so we'll bring that one up. Torres, signing of the season. Sforza, understandably, if he's player of the season, if he's a young one, he is going to be young player of the season as well. Let's click into this and see which one it is. This is from the first leg. I can't remember this goal, but I think it was probably a half decent one. Just for reference as well, I am now going to be, for the foreseeable future, playing the 4-5-1 as what boys are in this formation now, because it just seems to fit better, and we've got a lot more deeper lying players that are coming through rather than the forward players. That does mean that Leonardo Bottlemore, Sforza, Castro and co aren't going to get as much game time. It might be something that I change around depending on the teams we're playing, but I've had some decent results with the 4-5-1 with the defensive line midfielder in the last couple of games and episodes, so I think we probably will stay with something like that for the time being. But let's have a look at this goal then, and let's see if it was any good. I say it can't have been that bad, but I do know that Football Manager has a weird habit of probably not playing the best goal of the season. If I was to pick one from this, I probably would have picked one that Dennis Rodriguez scored, which I don't think you guys would have seen, which he just took a shot on the volley, and it was absolutely insane. There we go. So runs inside his man. Is he just going to... I mean, it's a decent goal, but it's not that great, is it? Let's be honest. That was nowhere near as good as I was expecting it to be, which is a bit of a shame. Let's go on the stats then. Top scorer Dennis Rodriguez, obviously that would have been Roman Bravo, but he left. Highest rating Sforza, that's again probably because the most of the games he played, we won, so he would have been a good player in that anyway. Torres the most assists, Limassol best pass completion, that's to be expected. Torres with the most man of the matches, and then in our slap on the wrist boys club, Thomas Belmonte takes the most yellow cards and most red cards as well. He's a very naughty boy. Team of the season, Lino Sanfaroni, Caligari, Fernandez, Andriozzi, Rodriguez and Torres in centre of the park, Aguirre, Sforza and Benitez supporting the now departed Bravo up top, which is not too far from the team we finished with, I suppose, apart from Andriozzi, Rodriguez, Sforza and Bravo. Obviously, Sforza more from a formation point of view, but yeah, interesting. Right, Club Vision, develop players using the youth system, play attacking football, still says we need to maintain. Oh, that's interesting. We're no longer expected to get into the Copa Libertadores, which makes my job a lot easier. So hopefully I can just overachieve now if we do get that. Because like I say, I think we've got a good team now. I mean, if with a couple of areas where we strengthen, I think we can really push next season. So we're going to accept that. There's no issues with that whatsoever. I'm happy with what we need to do. Squad dynamics, Patolo, Nadalan, Fernandez are team leaders. Nadalan, as I mentioned in yesterday's episode, I am expecting to be an outgoing member of the team. Assuming someone comes in for him, I have put an asking price of 5 million on for him. That may shift down. You're assuming that the likes of Caligari, Ferroni, maybe Belmonte in particular, I would expect are going to probably just shift in and replace him within there. Patolo will stay for the time being, but again, left back is maybe one of those areas I might want to strengthen because we've got him and Ferroni, but neither of them are really doing that much in my eyes. Ferroni's probably been the better of the two this season, but Patolo obviously has been injured for quite a bit of it, and as you can see, missed the most of the season out of any of our players. Is 3 months out with a hip injury. Be the 3 injuries as well. You can see worst one, bruised foot. That's probably one of those ones where he probably said to the game he wanted to retire, because I know that normally happens with like bruised feet and stuff like that, which is always weird. Break, they'll come back on the 13th of June. That's like such a short time away. But oh well, never mind. Get them back in early doors. I suppose it's because of the cup game, I guess, the 6th round, because that's the mid to end of June, I think. Post-match analysis, don't worry about that. And then a couple of contract offers been accepted for the staff, which I don't handle anyway. So let's go and have a look at the squad depth then. Let's have a look. We're excluding future transfers out. We're including future transfers in. Minimum of 3 stars. I'm actually all right with that as it stands. That's not bad considering I've changed absolutely nothing. So we've got Ceballos and Varela, our two starting strikers, which is always nice. Again, I'll switch them around quite a bit unless one of them hits a real kind of blazing run of form. Aguirre on the left, Benitez on the right. Plenty of depth in the midfield in both positions, because obviously Belmonte can shift back, but Fernandez covers there very nicely as well. Obviously, yeah, Bertolo and Ferroni, as I mentioned, Caligari, Fernandez. We need another player at least in there. And as you can see there, Nadalan just slipping down the pecking order a little bit. If we do go down to 2 stars, let's see what we've got at 2.5 here. You can see it does start to really kind of open up, and you can see just how much strength and depth we do have, which is a very nice thing to have. It means I can rotate quite a lot, which is something I've never really done on Football Manager games in the past, not anywhere near as much as I am doing now. So yeah, plenty of strength and depth in the centre forward role, same on the left, same on the right. Obviously, we knew the 2 midfield roles, and then again we've got Belotti and Calcaterra who can do a job at the base of the midfield as well. Like I say, here are left back. I don't think we've got anyone really coming through in the youth department from that side of things. I'll check and have a look. I definitely want to strengthen here. I want to get someone who's probably even better than these two to come in, and then I'll probably play Fernandez alongside him, because I do rate him a bit more than Caligari. And then obviously with this a decent amount of strength on the right hand side, with, again, I'm sure we've got a couple of people in the youth development team that are going to come through. And yeah, goalkeeper, not concerned about that. Limusan has done more than a job since we brought him in. So yeah, realistically, I think the main areas to strengthen is going to be the centre-back role, and on the left-hand side, potentially someone to maybe replace Aguirre. I will keep an eye out for them. He's by no means a bad player, of course, but it's this sort of thing, like 35 games he's played, 5 goals, 7 assists. It's not a bad return, but it's something I would want to see him improve on. It's a definite improvement from last season, but I think he still needs to continue to improve. So maybe it's a case of we're lacking competition and maybe a bit of a rotation option as well. So what we'll do is I'm going to disappear. In fact, let's just check the finances first. We've done nothing through in terms of budgets, but we can see next year's wage budget is very similar to what we have now. So we're going to have around about 50k to spend in that. I don't know what the transfer budget's going to do. I'm not really going to worry too much about that, but as you can see, we're looking at fairly healthy in terms of that projections wise. It's expecting us to have a 2.5 million-ish transfer budget, which would be lovely, but we shall see. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's fast forward a couple of weeks and see what happens, and yeah, I'll check back with you guys then. Okie dokie then, 1st of July, transfers are coming in, people have gone out. So in the incomings, you will see we've brought in, obviously, Damien Fernandez, we knew about him anyway. We've also managed to add another very, very decent looking centre-back, I'll open up here in a moment, and a very good looking winger to give Aguirre that competition as well. If we start with a centre half, he's a Brazilian player, which is something I've not gone to so far. He was not the least demanding player you'll ever see. He wanted us to do a lot of stuff, which I've managed to get him away from. He wanted us to be the best of the rest, big old pay rise, improve coaching, improve defender quality. I was like, no, I'm getting rid of all of those ones. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know how you manage effectively, is the honest answer. But he comes in, he is a ball-playing defender by trade, as you can see, which does mean that Fernandez can now play, assuming they play alongside him, which I think they probably will. Then it means that he can be the central defender, which does suit his role a little bit better, so we can give him a chance to do that. And I think these two between them will be a very, very tidy group of players. Let's see if I can show you the difference between the two. As you can see, Graça is much more of an attacking player. He's just generally a bit of a better player, to be honest, but there's still areas of the game which I'm quite pleased that Fernandes has. He's good in the air and all that sort of stuff. He's not as quick, but he's only one step down in all of these, and he's got a lot of chance to improve as well, as we know. Fernandes coming in, if I remember correctly, is still potentially being 5-star player. So there's definitely still time for him to improve. And like I say, he's still already got some really good-looking stats, especially his physicals are looking very well-rounded indeed. So yeah, very pleased that we brought him in. It does say transfer deal of 3.4 million. I put in a 1.5 million up front, and then the rest of the 1.9. No. Yeah, the 1.9 is over the next 3 years. So it's only 600k a year, so we've managed to split that out quite nicely. Obviously, Fernandes, who we knew was coming in anyway, quietly hoping to get the best out of him. I hope we do as well. And then Isaias, I think that's Isaias Barrosa, is coming in to compete with / replace Aguirre on the left wing. As you can see, again, very, very nice looking stats. Not too good on the defensive side, but doesn't really need to be. Nice and tall, can play on either position on the left, so he can play further forward as well, and can, by the looks of it, at least kind of do a job in the front three positions, which is always useful to have. But yeah, as you can see, very, very well-rounded player, crossing lovely. I think we probably will play him as an inside forward. But it's good to know we have got the option of playing him as a winger if we want to. I haven't had a chance to properly have a look over the other players yet that I've got who are playing up front to see whether we can get like the crosses in, get him on the heads, stuff like that. But still very pleased with him. If we do a comparison between him and Aguirre, we have signed this guy on a free transfer, by the way, and beat a few players to that. Where's Aguirre? He's going to be right at the top. Again, as you can see, a slightly different player, but still very good, very well matched on this side of things. But as you can see, a bit of a difference in the areas, the mentals and stuff. So when we've got one player in particular who I'll come back to, who's already in the squad in a minute, whipping in some free kicks and corners, it'd be very good to have someone like this who can come on and do a job in the from the set piece positions. So yeah, there are the three we signed. We do still need to get a left back. I have tried a few and I've just not managed to get very far with them, to be completely honest with you. And I have just noticed there's a red thing on the screen, which is very interesting. I didn't notice that just now, but I'll come back to that in a minute. In terms of transfers out, there has been one major outgoing. That's the main one. There's only one so far, and that is Juan Sebastian Sforza has actually departed to Leeds, our affiliate club. I felt really bad negotiating this transfer fee up, but I noticed I think they've just been promoted, so realistically, yeah, they've just been promoted, so they can afford it. End of the day. So he left for a fee of 4.4 million with a couple of extra instalments on top and a 10% sell-on fee, regardless of profit. So as long as they sell him, we'll still get a bit of money out of him as well, which is always nice. Like I say, he had a good run, but as I mentioned in the last clip, if we are going to change the way we're managing the team, the formation we're playing, he was probably going to get shifted out to an extent anyway. Other stuff, we have had interest from Independiente for Nadalan. They're looking at a 4.9 million bid. They haven't made one yet, but I did offer him back out, and they've not quite bitten just yet. Where is he? They've gone now, which is interesting. But we've got interest from for Castro, for Luque, Batitsuta, that he's going to be staying put for now. Moriles, Marcelo. So there's lots of interest around the club. The one that worries me is things like this. We've got the likes of Napoli coming in for people like Steve. That's a concern for me because he's obviously a very, very good player. And if we do sell him, then that obviously means that Nadalan comes straight back into the frame. So it's something we need to keep an eye out for. The one who I'm very much interested in, definitely want to be keeping around and actually taking off the loan list, come to think of it, is this guy. Okay, I've just noticed that Napoli are interested again, which is a bit of a concern. But Hector Nora, obviously, you saw a couple of games of him last season towards the end of the year. He is looking like a very, very tidy player. I've just noticed he's interested. He feels he needs to do contract. He will get that very, very shortly. But yeah, free kick taking, great. Corner taking, again, very nice indeed. There's just all sorts of stuff that just makes him look like a really, really tidy player. In fact, let's offer that contract to him right now. He's incredibly interested. That's good. That's exactly what I want to see. See, because I've started to add in a few more teams, that worries me a bit. How much can we get that up to? I mean, 5.25 is going to have to be it, I guess. Can I put an expiry date on that? Yes, I can. What date are we on now? Can I see that? July 2022 we're in at the moment. So let's do that until next year. Oh, I can't. Can I go any further back than this? Okay, so the earliest I can do is that. So I'm just going to set it as that and we'll just see what happens. And we'll keep that mandatory. If he doesn't want to sign a new deal, screw him. He's not interested. I'm happy with the rest of that. He can get a pay rise. That's fine. They've gone for that. So at least we know if we do sell him, which we probably will at some point, we'll get some money for him. But we've at least, hopefully, if he signs that, warded off some interest for the time being. But yeah, let's go into this then, shall we? So important dates in July. Obviously, we'll come back. We've got the Lanús game in the Cup first, then we've got the 2 games against them in the Sudamericana. I'm not going to bring you the Cup game. I'll probably play through this up until this game, and then that'll be next episode, and then we'll do the first games of the season after that. Dennis Rodriguez, new contract. It was running out at the end of this year, so we got rid of that. And this is the interesting one. I went for this thinking I wasn't going to get the job. I'm still going to reject this, I think, because I don't want to go ahead and take another job, because I've just put so much time and effort into making sure I make sensible signings. So I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to walk away. I only did it because it just popped up and they offered me an interview. I was like, screw it, go on then, we'll have a look. Who's this guy? Oh, I think I looked at him before. No, I don't need another striker. I've got plenty anyway. So we're all good there. Aguirre, a little bit of an update on him. Interesting that did come through. The reason why I didn't want to take that is because a few reasons. Like I said, one, obviously I've put a lot of effort into improving the side here at Newell's. The other one, which is probably just as important, is the fact that they wanted me to win the league. Like, there was no option. I had to win the league this season. So if I don't lose that, I'm out of a job and I'm even worse off than I was now. So I think it's better to keep it with them. Got time to improve and things like that. All we need with Newell's is a top half finish and 7th round in the Cup and 3rd round in the Sudamericana. So that seems like the sensible one at the moment. If they'd have come and said be in the top 4, I probably would have taken it. But seeing as they've done it like that, no, I'm not going to do it. That money and stuff is not going to tempt me because I've found a very nice way of managing that anyway. Finances wise, whilst talking money, have obviously taken a plummet. The main reason for that is obviously because we are now, I believe, working on our training use facilities. They'll be done later on this year. That should make them excellent, I think. They're great at the moment, so I think excellent is the next step. So that's very nice indeed. And yeah, with effectively the Sforza sale has funded that. In terms of the squad itself, as you can see, we've got a handful of players who are looking to come through. Obviously, we've got Maximiliano Riera, who's looking very nice. Leonardo Bottlemore, who's currently injured, I believe. I think he's still injured. Yeah, he's still injured for the next 6 to 8 weeks. So he's going to be out for a little while. He'll again come in and probably do a job. But Riera is definitely coming in and looking like a very tasty looking player. Like I say, got some good stats on him. Good teamwork. Great vision. I was going to say great vision. That's not that great. That needs work. Very tall for an advanced playmaker as well. Could play him in a couple of different positions, which is good. Obviously, I've got Victor Paz on the right-hand side. I think I'll probably bring him into the squad fairly soon, I would think, just as a backup for Batitsuta and Benitez, but we'll see. Quia, again, he might come into the squad just to give a little bit of backup at the right back and centre half positions. He was, I think, the one who I was talking about when I said he's our 4th choice, if I remember correctly. Let's just check that. Yes, he is the 4th choice here, so he's not a bad player at all. And yeah, we've got a strong squad on both areas, so I'm quite pleased with that. We haven't had the youth intake yet, obviously. I think that happens around December time in Argentina. So yeah, we've got a good-looking squad. I'm very happy at the moment. Like I said, I do need to get in a left-back. That is an absolute priority now because I have now since had some injuries happen to Bartolo and Ferroni. I think one of them's back, I believe. But if we go to squad depth, let's go have a look at that again. When it's eventually ready, let's put it back to 3 stars again. Get rid of those. So as you can see, we've strengthened in a handful of places, which is always good. So obviously, up front and on the right is the same, but I know we've got Batitsuta and now Paz, who are very close behind, so I'm happy with that. Obviously, Baroza, I don't know how we're going to pronounce that, Isaias, and Aguirre on the left-hand side. Obviously, as we know, we always had a very good strength in depth in the centre mid and the defensive midfield positions. Yeah, this is the one I need to try and work on. Can I show you it from here? Doesn't look like it. Bartolo injured for the next 6 to 8 weeks, and I believe Ferroni is out for the next couple of days. If not, he's just come back. I can't recall. Oh, he's just come back, yeah. So again, we've got them, but it's just not really that much going on. I think we probably need to look at strengthening that. Obviously, Grasser has come in, Caligari is still there, and Fernandez on a permanent deal, and we know about the 3 there. And then obviously Limasan is our starting goalkeeper and provides a much-needed bit of experience into the side as well. And let's finally have a look at this one. I'm going to bring in the reserve squad on the this as well, just to see if there is anyone else who can come in at left back, just in case we are just sitting on someone I'm just not aware of. Not really, to be honest. Andriozzi, Steve, they're both going to play on the right-hand side anyway, so I don't really need to worry about that. Calderera is probably worth a look, but he's a bit old now. And Bastianoni is probably then the next one who's worth potentially chancing on, but I think, he's just not really quite there yet. He definitely needs to mature a little bit in order for him to get a bit of a shoe-in into the squad. But yeah, we've got plenty of wage transfer budget, so we do have enough to spend on a potential player. As you said, I've made inquiries on a couple of left backs. There's not really a huge amount to show for them yet because they've not been fully scouted, but they do look okay from what I can tell. I'd probably say Pereira is the one that I'd probably be a bit more interested in, but we'll see. And I don't believe this is updated yet. It has done, I think. Let's go and have a look at the season preview quickly. We're still in 9th. We're quite a way off Argentinos Juniors, which is a shame. But again, I feel that's probably a little bit harsh on us. I think we're probably up there. I think we will do a decent job. My optimism. Kicking in Belmonte, our best player. Let me go a little bit further down to find Steve, our second best player. Obviously, as we know, he's now interesting other parties, but it's okay. We'll be all right for now. Maybe I should have taken the racing club job. Oh well. But yeah, there you go. So what we'll do is, like I said, I'll go forward until the game against Lanús. The game against Lanús in the Sudamericana. I will skim through this one. I'll just show you. I'll just give you an update once that game's been done. And yeah, we'll come back and we'll see what we can do before the 20th of July, because effectively that's when our season properly gets underway. Quick note before we move too much further. As you can see, we've splashed out on our record transfer. The 260 million Argentinian dollars? I don't know. Deal, or 3.4 million transfer Ricardo Grassa from Atletico Mineiro is now our new record purchase. Apparently our latest, previous one was Ignacio Scoccio from Southampton. I do recognise that name, but I can't click on him, so I'm assuming that's quite an old one. Whilst we're here, why don't we have a look at these? Let's have a look. Gerardo Martino, appearance record holder. Do you know a lot about him? Yeah, he was manager of Barca for a while, I might add, and Argentina. But what have we done since then? Most points in a season we did. Average attendance we did. Highest gates, lowest attendance. I think we standard. I think you typically get there anyway. I think we were never going to get Sao Paulo because obviously we can't beat that because the stadium's not big enough. Obviously, biggest transfer fee spent. Total transfer fee spending, that's the highest as well. Again, I think that's new to the game because I don't think you can have that before. Highest transfer fee received is for Oscar Cardozo back to Benfica. What's this now? 15 years ago. Jesus. Yeah, we need to get rid of minimum fee release clauses. They're annoying. Problem is, everyone knows to put them in now into their contracts, don't they? Highest average rating, Moreno. Oldest player, Maxi Rodriguez. Jesus, that goes back a bit, doesn't it? Bloody hell. Palacios, most assists. Oh yeah, Limusan got most clean sheets in the season. That came out before this episode. I think it came through yesterday's. I just didn't record it. Moreno, most player of the matches. Oldest goal scorer, Maxi Rodriguez again. Most matches lost in a row, 3. Just after we started the save. The most matches without scoring was last summer, which is not ideal. Also worth mentioning, again, I didn't mention this, I'm not doing very well today, am I? Is there is now only 21 teams in the league. There's not 22. I believe that must start from next year. 20 from next year, sorry. So they are still going down by 1 at a time. So that's all it was. Like I said, just to update you on the records. Yeah, see you in a bit. All right then, guys. So we're just about to go into the Lanús game, the first game in the Copa Sudamericana third round. Obviously, that's the next episode, so I'm not going to go into that on this one. Not a lot has changed, to be completely honest with you. The only thing is I have hopefully found our left-back issue in the form of Lautaro Cano. He's coming in on loan from Vélez. Hopefully, he's not confirmed yet, but hopefully he will be coming in. I've done the naughty and not fully scouted him, but he does look like he'll be a very good player, very quick, can play as a wing-back, should come in and do a job there, hopefully, for us. The good thing as well is if we do get this deal, we have the option, as we did with Damian Fernandez from Vélez, funnily enough, to bring him in on a permanent deal for $2 million at the end of the season, sorry. I haven't actually checked it, but yeah, his contract runs out at the same time, so hopefully we can do the same thing because he is transfer listed because he's refusing to sign a new deal. So hopefully we can get him in on loan, We can have him. We've saved a bit of money there. They've accepted it because we've gone for an optional fee, even though they wanted us to force them to pay 2.1 million, which when the contract's running out is pointless. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not an idiot. So we've done that. So hopefully he will come in over the next few days before the start of the season, and we'll go from there. But yeah, otherwise, like I say, no new transfer news. One guy's gone out on loan, but let's be honest, you and I both have no idea who this guy is. I've never played him. No, I haven't. Good. Just making sure. So he's gone out on loan. There will be plenty more of that. As you can see, obviously still got quite a few people. I would expect at least 1 or 2 of these to go out on loan. I might even shift Paz out as well. Ribeiro is not going to be with us much longer. He has agreed a contract with Deportivo Moron. Or actually, I don't know if I can find it now. I've taken too long. Hopefully I can find who is the best named person ever. You can probably tell what it's going to be based on what I'm searching for, but complete Gabriel Chocobar, who actually plays for Deportivo Moron, which is funny, but that is, quite frankly, the best name I've ever heard. And he's not a regen either, a new gen, whatever to call him. But yeah, Gabriel Chocobar. He left River. That's why he came up, because he was with River at the time, but he's obviously left and gone to Deportivo Moron. But yeah, he is the best real named player I've ever seen, hands down. So yeah, in the last game against Lanús, we did beat them in the cup, so we are through to the 7th round. That will be against San Martin de San Juan. I don't think we've played them before. They went down the year we started. I feel like we've not played them before. Can I find that quickly? Can I do that on here? Past meetings? Here we go. No, we've never played them before. They're a league or 2 below us, so hopefully we can get a result against those guys. They're in the league below us, I think. I think that's the league below. Yeah, they're in the next league down. I say, don't know anything about them, but hopefully, where are they in here? They're right down there. Hopefully that just means that we can get into the 8th round, I think it is. Can I find that again? I should have done a bit more digging on this, shouldn't I? Where is it? There we go. Copa Argentina. Then we go into the quarterfinal, the semi-final, and the final. And interestingly, show you the rules on this bad boy. The winner of the cup qualifies for the Copa Libertadores. So hopefully we can get a chance, if we can get a good run through this cup, of which we definitely got that with this team here that we're up against. And there's not a huge amount of big teams. The big ones I would say, that are still around, obviously River and Boca. And to be honest, I'd say that's probably it. Rosario, San Lorenzo, maybe. Aldosivi won it last year, maybe Argentinos Juniors, I guess. But if this goes the right way, we could get one of these guys in the next round, potentially. And we could be laughing. We could be into the semi-final. So who knows? We'll hold on hope for that. But the main aim is the league. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. Hopefully we'll have Kano in, or Kano, whatever you want to call him, before the start of the league season, which is a couple of weeks away. A couple of weeks from now. But yeah, if you have enjoyed that one, guys, please make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe for regular Football Manager content, both this series and other stuff that you will have seen bouncing around the channel as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will catch you again next time. Thanks. Cheers. See you later.